Still too close to call at the top of the Bundesliga. One slip up by either Bayern or Dortmund will open the door for the other team. Who's going to come out on top? We'll talk about it next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video. This time looking forward to match number 31 in your 2018-2019 Bundesliga season. We'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, stop what you're doing, swallow what you're chewing, and smash that subscribe. Keep me bang up to date with all things Bundesliga related, Blackburn Rovers related, world football related. We're going to all here under one roof. Now, before we take a look back at last week's predictions, and I tell you, they're okay. And before we do this week's ones, I want a big shout out to 2 viewers out there who have become patrons of the channel. Big shout out to Ben Hayward, whoop whoop, and of course John Spun, legend, who have become patrons to the hotly released Blackburn Overseas Patreon channel or page. Make sure if you are interested in doing something like this and helping me out over here at Blackburn Overseas with the content, improving the quality of it, check out the link in the little description below. There are 3 tiers up for grabs. There is the Academy Prospect, there is First Team Squad, and of course Starting 11. And if you want to explore any of those, please feel free, link to that puppy in the description below. And it does help me as a content creator try to kick on next season and improve the channel. But anyway, enough about that. Let's kick it on further and take a look back at last week's predictions. So kicking off the weekend, it was Mainz up against Fortuna Düsseldorf, and that ended up a 3-1 win in favour of Mainz. That pushes them up to 12th in the table. Still 1 point shy of Fortuna Düsseldorf, who remain in at least 10th spot. 2-1 win. I actually called it for Mainz, so not too shabby, boys and girls, not too shabby indeed. Augsburg up against Stuttgart, and oh my goodness, 6-0 demolition for Augsburg. Stuttgart look completely lost at the moment. Unbeaten. Well, they haven't won a game in at least 6 games. Augsburg, on the flip side, they are just in 14th spot, but they are pretty good at the moment. Just 2 losses in the past 6 games. I actually saw it as just a 1-0 win in favour of Augsburg, so not too shabby indeed. Bayern took on Werder Bremen, and again, like I said, one slip up by either Bayern or Dortmund, and I think it's over. So Bayern 1-0 winners over Werder Bremen. That's how nervy. It must be a nervy game. I actually saw it as a 3-1 win in favour of Bayern. Bayer Leverkusen on the flip side took on Nürnberg, and they won 2-0 as well to keep up their Europa League ambitions. I actually saw it as a 2-0 win. Bang on the nose, boys. Bang on the flipping nose. So if I ended my predictions right there, it'd be pretty stinking good. But obviously my boys, Mönchengladbach, let me down against Leipzig. Obviously Leipzig, one of the 4 teams in the division. And they look red hot at the moment, Leipzig, up into 3rd spot now. 5 wins on the spin after this one. And that was a 2-1 win in favour of Leipzig. I saw it with the same amount of goals, same scoreline, but just going the other way. I thought my boys Mönchengladbach would come out on top, but ultimately, no. Schalke against Hoffenheim. Schalke, look, I think they're lost. They are just fortunate there is a good 9-point cushion between themselves and the actual drop zone of Nürnberg in 17th spot, because they got absolutely handed it to them. 5-2 loss by Hoffenheim at their own place. I actually saw it going in favour of Schalke, 2-1 win. So how wrong was I? Freiburg took on Dortmund, and Dortmund on the flip side, compared to Bayern's squeaky 1-0 win, they put up a benchmark, 4-0 winners in the end to remain 1 point behind Bayern in the race for the title. I actually saw it as a 3-2 win. I saw it as a nervy one for Dortmund, but no. Hertha Berlin took on Hannover. Again, Hannover look absolutely lost at the moment. They did pick a 0-0 draw up against Hertha Berlin, away from home as well, but ultimately you need to win those games. In fact, both Hertha Berlin and Hannover now have identical records with five losses and a draw in the same sequence as well. Actually saw it as a 3-0 win going in favour of Hertha Berlin. Wolfsburg took on Eintracht Frankfurt in the final game of the weekend, and it was a 1-1 draw, and actually saw it as a 2-0 win going in favour of Eintracht Frankfurt. So that's opened up the door for Mönchengladbach to possibly still keep their Champions League dreams alive, even though, despite what I feel is a ropey bit of form for Mönchengladbach, they're still only lost 2 out of 6. But realistically, they've only won 1 out of 5. Anyway, this weekend, it'll be Augsburg up against Leverkusen. Now, Augsburg coming to this with a bit of a spring in their step. That 6-0 smashing of Stuttgart. And I think that will roll into the next week up against a good Leverkusen side who are in 7th spot. Their form at the moment, Leverkusen lost 3 out of the past 5, but most recently won 2 on the spin. But I see Augsburg coming out top with a win here to make it 3 wins on the spin for them. So it'll be a good one for them. Dortmund up against Schalke. Now, this is a bit of a local derby here. Dortmund, they should easily piss all over Schalke. 3-1 winners, but it could go the other way. even though the form book looks completely one-sided. You never know with a derby like this. Eintracht Frankfurt will take on Hertha Berlin. Frankfurt coming to this in 4th spot. Haven't won a game in 2. Up against the Hertha Berlin side in 11th, like I said. Haven't won a game in that 6 games. Realistically, Frankfurt will walk all over them, 3-0 winners in the end, and again, give themselves a boost. And that will remain in the Champions League spots. Fortuna Düsseldorf will take on Werder Bremen. Düsseldorf coming to this in 10th spot. Werder Bremen in 8th spot. There is a good 9 points between the two sides, so I don't see anything changing dramatically in the old league standings. But I think Werder Bremen will squeak it as well. 3-2 winners over Fortuna Düsseldorf, and again, that win though on the flip side could get them closer to a Europa League spot. Leipzig will take on Freiburg this weekend. Leipzig coming to this in 3rd spot, winning 5 on the spin up against the Freiburg side, who are in. Where are they? They're in 13th spot. Unlucky for some. Haven't won a game in 5, and then haven't won a game in 6 after Leipzig put 4 past them. 4-1 winners in the end. Hannover take on Mainz this weekend. Hannover look doomed at the moment. 6 points away from a playoff. But realistically, they're treading water big time. Up against a Mainz side who are in 12th spot, who have won 2 out of the past 3 games. They're going to lose. Hannover going to lose this one as well. 2-0 winners away from home. Stuttgart up against Mönchengladbach now. Surely my boys will get back to winning ways once again. Up against the Stuttgart side who haven't won in 6. So I'm going to go with a 3-1 win for Mönchengladbach away from home, and that win could possibly get them back into the old reckoning of Champions League. Hoffenheim will take on Wolfsburg. Hoffenheim hot on the heels of Mönchengladbach as well, and Hoffenheim's form is red hot. 5 wins out of 6, but unbeaten in 6 as well. Up against the Wolfsburg side who are in 9th spot. Their form's a bit ropey. 2 wins out of 6. Hoffenheim will win this one comfortably. 3-1 winners in the end, and again breathe down Mönchengladbach and Frankfurt's neck for possible sneaking into the old Champions League spot. Nürnberg will take on Bayern to wrap up the weekend. Nürnberg coming to this in 17th spot. Obviously, they are doomed as well. Up against the leaders, Bayern. Realistically, stone cold away win here. 2-0 winners. So I expect no major slip-ups in the race for the championship. With how many games left? 6 games remaining. Who's going to come out on top? Am I right in saying 6 games remaining? No, I think it's 4 games. 4 games remaining. 4 games remaining. Who's going to come out on top? Let's hear your predictions down in the comment section down below. That's pretty much all I've got for you today, folks. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a good old thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, smash that subscribe. Keep you bang up to date with all things Bundesliga related, Blackburn Rovers related, world football related. We're going to all here under one roof. And before we let you get out of here, make sure you check out the old links in the old description down below to my social media platforms, including Twitter, Facebook, and of course the homepage, the website, and of course the hotly released Patreon bad boys. If you are interested in becoming a Patreon, there are tiers to suit everybody out there, but also your viewership is just as vital, if not more, for the channel. But if you feel like doing something a little bit different, a little bit extra, check out the old Patreon. Link to that sucker is in the old description below. And again, stick your own predictions down in the comment section down below as to what you think will happen this weekend in the old Bundesliga. But anyway, until then, I'm going to let you get out of here. Thumbs up, subscribe. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.